Hey there! One more race. We are in Pumpkin Valley. I don't know if that's what it's really called, but the race is called the Pumpkin Valley Circuit Race. I guess it would be just, it's really close to Woodward Park in Fresno, heading towards, this is the old Friant Road that we're on right now, and then it loops up onto the new Friant Road and does like a 3 mile loop. And we're doing 5 laps. We're going into the bell lap right now. Everybody's still together. No breaks had gotten away today. Pretty fast group. I think we set the KOM for the lap. So we've done a few circuit. This is the third one that I've done. I think they did one more before that I missed, but this is the third one that I've done, and we definitely had the fastest lap times on today because it was a pretty strong group. So there was a group of guys from Bakersfield that came down, Zach and Rick, and there's the Ride Bikes Bros. They had 4 riders. Velo Kings had a bunch of riders, and then there's a handful of Swift Juniors too. And then Nick Love from the San Jose area came down. He's on the front there. You can see him in the Penn Velo kit. He's a taller rider, but he's really strong. And he just loves to race. And so I told him about this race, and he drove down, drove 2.5 hours to come do this race. So that says a lot about his desire to want to race, which is awesome. So here's the start finish line. We're going into 1 lap to go here. They just rang the bell. I just kind of had a feeling that we were coming down to a sprint just because of the speeds of the race. Usually if it slows down, there's definitely some guys who will attack, and they're super strong and they can get away and stay away. But everybody was on point today. Nick there did a lot of work to chase stuff down. He did a few attacks too. There goes Chaz. Chaz is definitely one of the stronger guys that's a threat to break away at any time, and yeah, you can't really give him a leash or he'll be gone. So when Mark Tucker or Chaz attacks, it usually generates an immediate response because both of those guys have that ability to just ride away and stay away. So here's the one that probably the most technical section of the race is this 180-degree turnaround right here. But it was always safe, and there was usually never any traffic, so we could take it wide like we're doing right now. And then as soon as you come out of this turn, it goes up a little bit of a grade. It starts off kind of level, and then it kicks up, and I kind of get gapped off a little bit here, but I knew that I would be able to catch back on because it kind of levels off at the top. This is about a 4% grade right here. It doesn't say much on my Garmin, but it's definitely got some bite to it. Yeah, see there, now it kicked up to 4%. And we got a little gap to make up here. So Elias, I could see Elias is chasing. So hey, when you can get a free ride and don't have to eat any wind, use it. If he had blown his wad and wasn't able to close the gap, I would have gone around him, but he was doing a really good job of closing the gap and brought us up to the group. I thought there'd be a flurry of attacks right here from people that didn't want to bring it to a sprint, because from here to the finish is flat or downhill, so there's no more hills. So we have a little bit of a straightaway here, and we make a right-hand turn down a hill. There's Alex Kabatic. There's Mark Tucker. Everybody's kind of moving their chess pieces to the front here. I'm solo rider, so I don't have any teammates, but I know who to watch for. I know who the strong guys are. I know that Alex and Nick are the team sprinters from Ride Bikes Bros. The Swift Junior guys are always in it for the sprint. So I just have to position myself. There's no need to panic right here. There's Zach Griffin from Bakersfield. He brought a guy with him that was a really strong rider, a really good sprinter, because I sprinted against him in the first one that I did, and man, I barely caught him and passed him at the end. It was yeah, he's definitely a strong sprinter, and he's positioned in a really good spot up towards the front. But like I said, there's no need to fight for position right here because we still have a long ways to go, and we have a downhill, and it's pretty easy to move up. There was an attack off the front. Yeah, there goes Elias. So Elias just attacked because everybody came back together and it slowed down just a little bit. And Elias just launched off the front, which nobody's going to let anybody get away on Bell Lap. If he had done that maybe a lap earlier, you see the egret we just passed on the right there? He had been sitting there the whole race. Every time we passed by, that egret was just sitting there checking us out. Wasn't scared one bit by us rolling by. We're coming up to the downhill right-hand turn. They're chasing Elias right now, so they're not going to let anything get away on the last lap. So. I like to stay on the right hand side right here just because the wind was coming from our left shoulder, and this was a nice place to just cruise down the hill. And at this point I'm pretty fresh. I hadn't done any work because sometimes when I do this race I just do a lot of work because I'm trying to get fitness and I'm not trying to get a placing. But in this race, I actually wanted to sprint, and I just wanted to test my legs because I'm racing in Florida in 2 weeks. And I really wanted to try out the legs in a sprint. So I know that I need to move up and get near Nick and Alex. Alex is going to just sit up right here, right in the middle of the field. And I have guys on both sides of me, and so I lose a lot of position and just get stuck. So there's Nick. I want to stay near him. Little Matt Amara is fighting me for his wheel, so I'm not really gonna fight him. But so Alex is slowing down, and I'm like pinched. So now I lost all my momentum. I'm in my 12, and I've got to get back on the gear and move back up because they're going full gas at the front right now. You see, we're going 33 miles an hour. And we got a sweeper to the left and then a sweeper to the right to the finish. So I'm going to move up the side here because it's the crosswind. So I'm in the sheltered wind side, and I'm trying to get up behind Nick. And right about now, little Matt, the Swift Junior, is fighting me for his wheel, and he's giving me a couple little headbutts with his helmet. I was like, all right, good job. He's fighting for position. I like it. So I kind of moved to the right and let him have that spot because he was there first. He earned it. And but I know Chaz is going to lead out Nick, and we're coming into the right-hander to the finish, and that's Rick, the good sprinter. And so Rick sees it, anticipates it, and moves over and gets behind Chaz instead of Nick, which I think was his first mistake. So he's eating a bit of wind here. Nick's just about to launch. So yeah, okay, so Rick and Nick launch at the same time. So the only place I have to go is to the left. So I swing out to the left, and I just didn't have enough. I just didn't have enough to get past Nick. He's just a little too fast right now. But hey, it was fun. That was a blast. And until the next time, see ya.